Yo, what is up? Welcome to Ninja Geek Games, where we are looking at a Disney-themed game. Now, this isn't a game where we need to rescue a princess from a tower or take on a fierce dragon. No, here you take on the role of one or more mighty hero characters, plus Goofy, in an attempt to thwart the plans of evil Heartless overlords from taking over a number of worlds. Kingdom Hearts Perilous Pursuit is a cooperative push-your-luck dice game for up to 5 players, where you need to assign your dice pool to specific actions in order to set and activate them. Each action will require a different number of dice with unique icons, but you'll need to be wary as rolling the Heartless icon can have severe consequences. Let's take a look at the components. The most eye-catching part of the game is the wonderfully illustrated double-layered player boards. Each board is identical in that it has a health bar at the top, spaces to place gain shield tokens, as well as an area depicting the 5 actions or abilities that are activated with dice. Now, although each hero has the same actions, they're in a different order for each hero. There are ready and set tokens of hero-specific colours that fit nicely into the ability slots, shield tokens, and some really cool looking dice. Lastly, the world cards represent the enemies that you are trying to defeat, of which there are 14 that are also double-sided. The components are of pretty good quality, bright, vivid, with some nice art composing a mix of anime-like illustration and traditional Disney art. The world cards are a little thin, and the tracks that mark your progress are quite small, but it's nothing to complain about. However, the game comes with a small deck of item cards that has a putrid brown coloration and are quite bland, which just look really out of place next to all the components, which is disappointing. So, how does it play? Well, the setup takes minutes. All you do is take your hero board, lay out the associated tokens, and create a small deck of the world cards, of which there are 3 levels of difficulty, and place the dice pool and the item cards. That's it, and now you're ready to play. Gameplay is incredibly simple, and I love the push your luck element here. You take all dice and roll the pool up to 3 times, but after each roll you can set aside any number of dice where you can change or add dice after each roll. That is, unless you roll a Heartless icon that is only present on the black dice. Do this and any dice rolled alongside it cannot be set aside to ultimately waste that roll. Therefore, the strategy here is to try and set aside the black dice in the first roll if able, trying to remove the need to roll it in the second and third phase, eliminating your chance of revealing the Heartless icon. But this is only effective if it shows an icon that you require, so take your chances. You can then assign the dice pool to the ability area of your player board by matching dice icons with those present here. During your turn, if you are able to place enough dice to match the number of icons in the left side of the ability, you can ready it by placing a ready token. This now becomes locked, where you can ready any number of abilities in a turn, provided you have enough dice. Any areas where you are unable to match enough dice icons to ready the ability are lost, where you can try again in a later turn. Being able to ready an ability does not constitute being able to carry out the action, but instead means the ability could potentially be used this turn or a later turn without having to reassign dice. Once an ability has a ready token, you can now assign dice to the set area, which is a single location here, allowing you to place a set token to mark this. Now, having a set token in place does 2 things. 1, it means you are ready to take the action. It's fully charged and ready to be unleashed, and only requires placement of just 1 more matching dice, either now or in a later turn. 2, it means you can also place a dice on a different player's hero board of that same ability if they have a set token in place. This means you can support other players by allowing them to take actions in your turn, and this is beneficial if they need shields, have a special ability that is more useful at that time, or you just have a spare die. I really like this level of support, and it's a mechanic you really need to think about in order to successfully defeat the Heartless. If you have any dice placed on set tokens, you can activate that ability. You can attack, which means you progress through the world, collect to gain an item card that provides an ability, or use them as dice icons to fill your ability areas. Protect allows you to gain shields to reduce damage later, and this is a special ability that is unique for each hero and quite powerful. Lastly, Distract means the Heartless gets less dice to roll when the world activates. Using an ability does not remove any token, just the dice, where it's sometimes really tricky to decide on the best possible route when assigning and rolling. Do you take the quick wins to set up activation of your lower grade abilities, hoard dice for your powerful ones, or even collect item cards to support your assignment phase? The dice also have a wild icon that can be used as any symbol, which is most welcome when you've rolled a few of these. As mentioned, the abilities on each hero board are in a different order, so this results in some good table talk based on your individual requirements. The last phase in the round is where the World Heartless fight back. They roll a number of dice as indicated on the world card, minus any dice from activated distract abilities, and the worlds have a key to indicate what each dice icon does. Depending on difficulty, some do nothing. Others hinder your progression through the world or cause damage to your hero, and some even force you to remove set and ready tokens from your board, meaning your hard work was for nothing. Now, if you deal enough attacks to the world to move the token off the track, you have saved the world and can progress to the next. Doing so is dangerous as they increase in difficulty, plus each player must roll the black dice and remove tokens from your board, meaning you start that world slightly weakened. If you roll a Heartless icon at this time, this roll can be more devastating. But if the world activation phase, the progress deteriorates so that the world is overrun with Heartless, then the consequences are even more severe, so be warned. To win the game, you must progress through 6 selected worlds, but lose too much health or have just 2 worlds overrun with Heartless, you lose. So, my final thoughts. Components and artwork are good and great for the most part, and gameplay smoothly with some nice mechanics embedded into the push your luck element. The box indicates 2 to 5 players, but as it's fully cooperative, it can be played solo, which is awesome. But I use 2 or sometimes 3 heroes, and Goofy. It's simple enough that it can be played by little ones and is very engaging, but it can sometimes take a bit longer to play than expected, plus it can be quite challenging at times where a series of poor dice rolls just wipes you out. Luckily, as setup is so quick, you're ready to play in no time. Replay value is fairly good as each hero has different order of abilities, special actions, and there are 28 worlds in total, although the variety between each is only slight. Nevertheless, this is a fun game, whether you play solo or with family, that encourages table talk and cheering from well-timed rolls. Thank you for watching, and please take a minute to subscribe to the channel. This is Ninja Geek Games. Cheers.